We are looking at Gambia. The Gambia. Welcome. My name is Dr. Rishola Ajide, your host on the Mentor Show, where we inspire you, where we help you make, reinvent yourself, and help you give ideas and tips that would help you make positive impact in your community, in your country, and on your continent. You know, we've been on this journey. 2 years now is 2 years of doing this, coming on the Mentor Show every Tuesday. When we started, we initially started Tuesdays and Fridays. We did that for close to almost close to a year or thereabout, before we now settled back to having just coming on Tuesdays. And we've been doing that now. Now, the good news, welcome Kemi Toriola, welcome Dr. Dorothy Bassi. The good news which I have is that I don't know if you see my postings that I posted on the Holt Prize. I was privileged to be part of the Holt Prize, which was done for the Africa, Abuja and Johannesburg region. The good news is that I've been invited to be part of the Global Accelerator of the Holt Prize. The Global Accelerator of the Holt Prize is going to be holding in Boston. Well, I don't know if I'm going to go to Boston yet. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to Boston yet, but I think it's a great one to be part of what we are doing on the Mentor Show, helping to inspire, helping to mentor, helping to guide startups and entrepreneurs on the continent of Africa, and being privileged to be able to contribute and add value to the work of the Holt Prize, the Global Holt Prize. The Holt Prize is a $1 million prize for the best ideas. $1 million is what they will get when they go to Boston. So I think it's a great privilege that arising from the work we did in choosing somebody from the Abuja, a group that won from the Abuja Regional Summit, and a group that won from the South Africa Regional Summit, and now they are going to the Global Accelerator. So I've been invited to be part of the teams, the specialists that would help judge among who are going to win the $1 million. I think that is great news, isn't it? It's great news. It's great news to be part of that great work of helping to shape, helping to guide startups and entrepreneurs on the continent of Africa. But tonight, what we are looking at tonight is we don't have a guest. We are looking at mapping Africa's natural resources. You would remember that the Mentor Show, we bring guests, we bring people of repute, people who are doing phenomenal things on the continent of Africa, who are wonderful people, who are living the life, so to speak, that each one of us want to live, isn't it? And we'll bring them on the show to demystify, to prove to you that you also can make a change in your community, in your country, and on your continent. And that's why we bring these guests, all those who have been my mentor, one of my mentors, Dr. Dorothy Bassi, who is online tonight, has also been on this show. She is the immediate past president of the Nigerian Environmental Society, which is an organization that's been running for 30 years. She was the past president, and she was also a retired director from the DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources in Nigeria. So she has put her own years, more than close to 40 years experience, cumulative experience, that which she had in various industries. And she's been on this. So we bring these mentors on the show to prove to you that you can be a solution in your community of any problem that is arising in your community. While any day we don't have guests on the show, we've been looking at mapping Africa's natural resources. You see, Africa is a place full of resources. And what we've been doing, we've been looking country by country since we started. Today, if you see, like we see on the platter, is we are looking at Nation 21. If you go to my timeline, you will see the days we've done Algeria, we've done Angola, we've done Benin Republic, we've done Botswana, we've done Burkina Faso, we've done Burundi, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Gabon, and today we are doing the Gambia. Today we are looking at the Gambia, which is the 21st nation that we are looking at the natural resources of each of these. And why did we start bringing this issue of natural resources onto you? Because it's an opportunity for you to pivot to the next level. Either to look at those nations as a place of investment opportunities, because see, Africa is the new frontier. Africa is the place where is where you can have the next technological advancement revolution. And so there's a need to focus on Africa and look at Africa and see how you and I can make positive impact, and also not only make positive impact, but how you and I can also make money, because money is needed, isn't it? You need to invest, you need to increase your investment, increase your capital outlay as a person or as a business. So Africa is a place to be. So aside looking at these countries and looking at their natural resources, we also look at their challenges. And like I keep saying, if you're on this show tonight, the question I always ask for those of you who have joined tonight is, have you discovered the reason why you were born? Have you discovered the reason why you were born? Because you were born to solve a problem. You were born to solve a problem. The reason of your existence is to solve a problem. And why I, as a person, and the mentorship will keep coming every day is because we were born to solve the problem of ignorance. Coming every day, providing this information to you to ensure that you are enlightened and you are empowered with the knowledge which you get from this show. So that's why you see us coming doggedly every Tuesday. We show up here, either come rain, come sunshine, except if we have holidays, to say that you must discover why you were born and you must make impact in your community. You don't need to be so aspiring to be looking at making impact on your continent. No, start, even though we want you to think as far as that, start first and foremost with your community. Look at, even, you cannot, your community is even too big. Start with your street, the street where you live. Begin to think of what you can, the changes you can bring. Good evening, Oche David. Begin to think of the changes you can bring in the streets where you live, the neighborhood where you live. Begin to think of the impact you can make in that place. Then now begin to think about how to escalate it, how to increase it to your bigger community, your state, your town, your state. And now begin to think of your nation. And now begin to think of your continent. And like I keep saying, every of these nations we are looking at, if you want to say, oh, I'm not from the Gambia, I'm from, say, for example, Nigeria, the issue is that the problem that is in the Gambia is also available in your country. So you can look at as, okay, if I can't go to the Gambia and help them, the same problem that is available in the Gambia is available in my country. And I can begin to look at it. Now, if you go to my timeline, one of the programs which was a very touching episode on this mapping Africa resources is the episode we had on Benin Republic. That was the episode that was very touching episode, in which in Benin Republic, they are selling their children for $15 because of lack of money. It was a very touching episode. That was the third episode we had. People giving their children as slaves for $15. Can you imagine that? And the point is, you need to find the reason why you were born, to begin to do something about it. Even if it's just one person, your purpose is supposed to begin to achieve, to begin to do something to help those people who are found in this kind of a situation. So tonight we are looking at the Gambia. The Gambia is what we're looking at tonight. So we are looking at the Gambia tonight, and we are looking at the Gambia quickly tonight. Sorry, we had technical issues. My phone was not connecting at the initial. It was, not too clear, but now we are back. So quickly, let's look at the Gambia. The Gambia is officially called the Gambia. It used to be called just Gambia, but because there was a mix-up, people were making mistakes when they were sending letters. Instead of letters going to the Gambia, they were being sent to Zambia. So in order to create differentiation, the country, they agreed to call themselves, to add the capital, the Gambia. So that when you say the Gambia, is different from Zambia. And that's how they came about the official name. Is the Republic of the Gambia, which is a country in West Africa. It's called the Smiling Coast. The Smiling Coast because of the shape. The location of the Gambia is actually surrounded by Senegal, north, south, and east is in there, whereas on the west you have the Atlantic Ocean. So, and when you look at the shape of on the map, it looks like smile. That's why I call the Gambia the smiling coast. So it's officially called the Gambia, and they have their flags. Their flag, we have three, if you like, three horizontal bars separated by two white lines. So you have red at the top, you have blue at the center, and you have green at the bottom, and then you now have white ahead separating the blue and the red, and white line again separating the blue and the green. That's the Gambia. It was this particular nation, had Portuguese influence also. The Gambia had Portuguese influence. Yeah. So this particular nation, they came out of a compromise between the Britain and France. So France and Britain in their interesting, like we know how all these nations were fighting over Africa, came up and in their agreement, this particular colony called the Gambia was born. And they used to call them the Senegambia between 1988 and 89, but before they got their own independence. So it's the smallest non-island country. The Gambia is the smallest non-island country, and it's also one of Africa's most densely populated nation, which is surrounded, it's made on the Gambia River. The key major ethnic tribes in this place are the Malinke and also the Wolof, and also some of the Fulani on Dihola and the Soninke peoples that makes up this particular nation called the Gambia. So it's a strip of 15 to 30 miles, wide, on either side of the Gambia River. There's a Gambia River, so in between the river, you have a space of land. And that's what we explain, because it's just a small tiny island, like a small, not island, a small piece of land, and you have the population of this nation, or the Gambia. Let me give you that. The population of this nation called so the population of this particular nation I had it now. Hold on, please. Oh, okay. It's closed. So they are about 2 point something million. The population is 2.4 million, 2.417 million as at 2022. So could you imagine 2.417 million people in a space of 25 to 30 miles aside on the side of the nation, the water called the Gambia, that is the water itself. And when you look at the demography of that population, you will see something very similar as it is with other nations of Africa. With other nations of Africa, they have 254 births per day. They have 50 deaths per day, and based on the population demography, you have the largest are the Serekunda, the Brikama is 77,000, the Bakau are like that, the Banjul. So the name of the location of where you have the most number of persons. Banjul is the capital of this particular nation called the Gambia. Banjul is the capital of the Gambia. So we'll look now at the natural resources. That's the key point. That's where we started from. That's what the title of what we're looking at is Mapping Africa's Natural Resources. In other words, looking at the natural resources. These natural resources which are in Africa is what other nations are coming to frisk away. And because we don't have infrastructure to process these things, they are frisked away to other places and they become expensive. You see, that even Africans cannot even benefit, as it were, or make use of them because of the value addition by other nations, which we are not able to do. We don't have the processes. We don't have the infrastructure. You see, we don't have that. Now, when you look at hold on. So 0.96% of the population, or let's say 1.01% of the population, are under the age of 15. Like every other nation we have considered on this show, Africa is the new frontiers. Africa is where the young people are. Almost 70% of Africa are young people under the age of 15. That tells you the growth, the opportunity that are available on this motherland, on this continent called Africa. So a lot of opportunities. And I keep asking, why were you born? What's the problem you were born to solve? What's the problem you're born to solve? Are you born to chart course for young people, to be passionate? Are you passionate about young people? A lot of young people every day are going everywhere. You just need to begin to find the reason why you were born. Some young people, perhaps those people who are causing a lot of problem now in Nigeria, for example, were once young. There was no person to mentor them, to guide them, to show them what they're supposed to be doing. And today, we are all paying the prices. The price, rather. We're all paying the price of not taking care of those young people. They've now grown up to become something else. So the key point is, what problem are you born to solve? I can't say this enough. I can't say this enough. What problem are you born to solve? Because once you discover the problem you are born to solve, is for you to start to begin to do something about it. Oche David, Mora, Noel Delavinia, and every other person who has been here, what problem were you born to solve? Part of the resources of this nation, part of the resources that the Gambia possesses, they have of course, silica. The Gambia has silica, sand. The Gambia has titanium, rutile and ilmenite. The Gambia has tin and zircon. Of course, they have fish in abundance, and they have clay also in abundance. What are the exports of the Gambia? They export peanuts, they export fish, cashew nuts, mango, various vegetables, and sesame. So the country imports food, fuel, and machinery. So that's the point we keep saying. If this country imports food, fuel, and machinery, what can be done that food can be grown on the continent of Africa? Fuel, machinery. We'll be saying it over and over. I'm going to go that and look at, maybe on that I'll look at like we said, agriculture accounts for 27.8% of the GDP of this particular nation. So while that is, the question we'll be asking, which we'll see with other nations, is what kind of farming, even farming. We've seen in other nations, like we saw the case of in Benin Republic, when they are selling their children because they are still practicing subsistence farming, using cutlass, using hoes, until we have people, young people, Oche David, Topsakins, and any other one that is here. Have you found why you are born? Were you born to create machineries? Like we have the young person who has been on this show before in Jos, creating, manufacturing tractors, manufacturing cars, manufacturing agricultural equipments, and things like that. We need a critical mass of these agricultural products for Africa to develop, to become developed. And we need a critical mass of young people in Africa to discover why they were born and to begin to put their mind to it. We need young people, young minds who will begin to manufacture agricultural products, agricultural machinery equipment, like one of our guests who has been on this show. Tractors, tractors, and all those things that will be needed for mechanized farming. Africa will not be able to become developed if we don't have mechanized farming. We cannot continue with subsistence farming. So in the Gambia, almost 26% is, agriculture. There is a need for the import machinery. And it's a pity, it's a pity that, for example, a nation like Nigeria that has a high abundance of iron ore in Itakpe, in Ajaokuta, in Kogi State, they've not been able to do anything with it. They have iron ore, they have things that could be used to create this, but you see, we've allowed some people to cripple our thinking and ensure that we don't rise to meet the needs that we have on the continent. Until we have young people, young minds, who are intentional in solving the problem of Africa, in ensuring that they begin to fulfill the reason why they were born, Africa will continue to be the way it is. And God forbid, I believe that in my lifetime, we'll see Africa develop. We'll see Africa advancing. We'll see Africa. We'll see the mechanized farming and all these things we are clamoring for in all these states, the country we are looking at. There's a need for mechanized farming. There's a need for mechanized farming. So if we want to see that the populations continue to rise, the population is rising, is increasing. The population is rising, is increasing. What do we have to take care of this population? Like I mentioned, I've mentioned to you some of the natural resources. You can begin to investigate, even in your own country. If you think that you cannot go and invest in the Gambia, if you do think you cannot go and invest in the Gambia, think of your own country. Begin to think about your own country and begin to read about investment. Think of investment opportunities in your own country, what you can do in your country that could increase your own financial capacity, increase your own financial outlay. You see, you need to begin to have that knowledge and begin to now think of, have you discovered the reason why you were born? Have you discovered the reason why you were born? And begin to solve that problem. Because you were born for a reason. There's a reason why you exist. And there's a reason why you are on earth. Like I keep telling you, we keep showing up every day because we were born to tackle ignorance. We were born to ensure that ignorance is snuffed out of the continent of Africa. And anywhere there's ignorance in the world. And that's why we bring this knowledge to you, looking at the natural resources again. We are today focusing on looking at the mapping Africa's natural resources, focusing on the Gambia, a nation that is known majorly for tourism. Gambia is known majorly for tourism. It's one of the safest nations on the earth. It's known for tourism. People travel to the Gambia to look at the various things that are available in the country of the Gambia. So it's important. People, it's important. I almost said it's important that we begin to look at why do we exist. We don't just exist. We don't just exist to eat food, go to the toilet, eat food, sleep, wake up, eat food, go to the toilet, sleep, wake up, eat food, that's not the reason why you exist. You exist to solve a problem, and you must find out what problem you were born to solve. You must find out what problem you were born to solve. So in education, in looking at education in the Gambia, as at 1995, the gross primary enrollment rate was about 77.1%. School fees prevent a lot of children to attending schools. So can there not be free schools? In 1998, the president ordered the termination of fees for the first 6 years of schooling. Girls make up about 40% of primary school students. Girls make up 40% of the primary schools children. So if you look at it, that this particular nation, the literacy rate in the Gambia is 63.9% for males, 46.6% for females, which is good, but could be done more. And I think that the next nation, since we'll be looking at, this is the 21st nation, another nation that we have looked at that has something close to that is this nation called Cape Verde. Cape Verde has another high, literacy rate. There's the University of the Gambia where people could attend. So it's important that we begin to do something. If you look at the healthcare system in the Gambia, there's a primary, secondary, and a tertiary health education system, health system. There are 4 referral hospitals. Good evening. There are 4 referral hospitals in the Gambia, and we keep saying it, for those people who have health background. What can you do to help health people on the continent of Africa, or even if not in Gambia, the nation where you came from? Health is still a challenge even on the continent. So in the primary care of hospital where you have in the Gambia is, we have the primary for the villages, we have secondary in the cities, and you have the hospitals and the areas like that. So the health something is still not as it ought to be, like here in the West. So there's opportunity, and that's what we're saying. We're not saying that these challenges are not problems per se. There are rooms for opportunities. To say there's room for people to start hospitals to provide health opportunities to treat people. Of course, you might begin to say that, how will you get money? And that is the reason where we need our government to be up and doing, to provide social nets that will help people, that they don't need to die because they don't have $15. They don't need to die because they don't have $10 to pay for their hospital bill. The government should be able to provide some of these things. So back to the question, have you discovered why you were born? And begin to fulfill the purpose why you were born. It's important. So follow me follow us on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube, as we continue to provide more information that would help you to make positive impact in your community, in your country, and on your continent. It's important that you discover why you were born. All right. Great. So if we look, I've told you about the ethnic people, the Malinke, the Fulani. The Malinke or the Jenaka are the most populous. The Fulani are the next, 22%. The Wolof are 12%. Above the Dihola or the Karonika are 10%, 10.9. The Soninke are 7%, while others are 14%. So, like you know that this nation is majorly 96% are Muslim, while 3.8% are Christians, and you have about 0.2% as traditional people. So you have 61% living in the urban areas, while 38.7% live in the rural areas. Like I told you earlier about the 8 breakdown, under 15 is 36.5% of the population. That's huge. While between 15 and 29 age, you have 29%, and you have 30 to 40, 19%. So even if you take it that from age 29 and down, that you have more than 50%, that's already going to 61%. That's huge. Which goes to the point that Africa is the new, good evening, Aliyah, South options. Africa is the new frontiers. So we have a lot of young people on the continent of Africa. And we keep saying, have you discovered the reason why you were born? These young people in Africa, these young people need to go to school. These young people need to be taken care of health-wise and in every area. What can you offer? What can you as a person begin to be available to solve the problem that is available? Like I mentioned earlier, the challenge of the people, the children we did not take care of. The children we did not take care of now, God forbid, will become a terror tomorrow. Some of the children who are terrorists now are the children that weren't catered for years back. And that's the reason why you need to take it serious in your neighborhood, in your community. Look for someone to influence positively, a young person, to give them hope, to give them direction, to give them guidance, so that they don't fall into the hands of the wicked. They don't fall into the hands of the wicked, to be used by the wicked forces that are. And one of the problems we have in Africa is the proliferation of rifles. Some of the rifles that they don't need again. Just like we've been a dumping ground for second-hand goods. Likewise, ammunitions, guns are finding their way into Africa. And we could see today. I watched a video the other day. It was shocking. Old women in one particular country, nation, community in the north, they were all carrying AK. All the community were dancing with AK-47, so like an assault rifle. And I was wondering, wow, this is problem. If people's dancing and what they do is AK-47, you know what will happen in the future when they don't have food. God forbid that they will turn that on people to force them to give them something. Part of the natural resources of Gambia also is that they found oil and gas in some parts, so it's still under. They're still doing the work ground. Hopefully that they will also become an oil and gas nation. So there are opportunities, and that's why we come on this show to tell you. Looking at Gambia today, there are opportunities in Gambia. There are challenges in Gambia. Those opportunities or those challenges are actually opportunities for investment, opportunities for bringing change in that country. Opportunity is for you to do your own research. This is not an investment show. It's just to tick your brain and to open your eyes to look at there are opportunities everywhere that can help you to pivot financially, help you to pivot in making impact and fulfilling the reason why you were born. So the major imports of this country, of the Gambia, the major import is from Cote d'Ivoire. Then the next is from, which is about 41%. Then they now import from UK 11.7, from Brazil, China, India, and others. Others make 28.7. Are there things you can develop that could be imported to this nation, or even in your own nation? We must begin to think of what to do, of how to be a creative economy. And that can only be when you discover the problem you are born to solve. You see, today, wherever you are, which country you are talking, what you are watching me from today, you are joining us from today, follow me on Instagram. It is that somebody solved the problem of you seeing me tonight through the Instagram. Somebody created the Instagram. So there's something you are also born to create. There's something you are born to create. And you need to begin to reflect and begin to find what problem was I born to solve? And begin to do something of how you can be a solution to the problem on earth. So the Gambia, like I told you, exports. Their major 17% of their exports go to India. They export fish and some of the things they do export. They also export to South Korea, to Vietnam, to Netherlands, to Spain, and to other nations. So you need to begin to find what are the problem you're born to solve. Part of the problem, because of the nation is still a very poor nation. They still have the problem of, they don't have safe drinking water. They have the problem of malaria. They have the problem of HIV, even though it's low, but there's the problem of HIV in the country among young women among young. So there are problems. Perhaps if you are a medical person, a pharmacist, you are born to solve the problem of HIV, or permanently annihilate and not to exist again, or malaria, or any of these drugs. Just think of a problem you were born to solve. And God will give you ideas for you to think of how to be a solution to the problem that's facing us on the continent of Africa. All right, I think, and don't get it. Always know that when we come on this show, we are not here to come and bemoan the problems. No, we are bringing this to your knowledge for you to begin to think and reflect and say, could it be the problem you were born to solve? And that's why I keep asking, what problem are you born to solve? So perhaps in the area of education, like I said, there's education problem in Gambia, even though they have high literacy rate. The area of health, are you born to solve the problem of health? In the problem of agriculture, are you born to solve the problem in the area of agriculture? In the area of the economy, are you born to solve? What problem were you born to solve on earth? What problem were you born to solve? Until you find out that problem and begin to do it, you will not live a life of significance, a lot of meaning. And that's why you need to think. If you're not from the Gambia, think of your own nation and begin to think of what you can do to solve the problem in the country where you were born. All right. Network stability is a problem. Yeah. Yeah, internet is a serious problem, and it's one of the and some I do dream sometimes. When I say dream, I see I looking at a problem of how it's possible that aside from internet, something different from internet people can use to connect without less, that is cheaper and not too techy like what we have now, because to people to join the internet is quite a challenge. So these are part of things we need to begin to think about, solving the problems, and that's why I'm excited. I'm excited to be part of the Halt Prize Global Accelerator pool of specialists. Like I told you, the good news at the beginning of this show tonight, it's a privilege to be part of the global specialists of the Halt Prize in their accelerator program, where you see young people who are bringing about projects and programs of inventing, having ideas. The winner of the Johannesburg, which was very interesting, the winner of the Johannesburg region, which I was part of, the winner of that region actually they call them Echo Banner. Check them out. Do you know what Echo Banner does? They create pads, female pads that women use for during their menstrual period. They create these pads from banana stump. That's wonderful. See, this group of young people, university people, they already have a company in which they create pads that women can use for their menstrual period. And these pads are for sustainability and eco-friendliness, were created from banana stump, the trunk of banana, the banana yeah. Perhaps you will see banana around you. Those trunks were what they used to create these hygienic pads for women, which I think is amazing. They were the winners of the Johannesburg region. So we need young people to begin to think of solutions to problems. And as I keep saying, what were you born to solve? What's the problem you're born to solve? And I pray that you would reflect on this and think of what can you do. Yes, you can do something. You can do something. You can. We keep showing up every Tuesday because we are born to solve the problem of ignorance, to educate, to bring to you knowledge, to know that there are things you can do to bring substantial change in our continent and in the world. All right. I think that's me done today. Thank you, Ma, Dr. Dorothy Bassi, for staying till the end. Thank you, everyone who have joined tonight. And if there's anyone that wants to think about, if you have ideas to jump, to brainstorm on, just reach out to me, my DM, and we can be able to create time. Thank you, South Options. South Options, where are you joining us from? Limitless FOL, we're about rounding up. Welcome to the Mentors Show. Have you found the problem you were born to solve? Have you discovered the problem you were born to solve? Oh, South Options is Lagos, Nigeria. Follow me so that you are aware of other things we're doing. And when we bring our postings of the next guest that will be coming on the show on Tuesday, you'll be able to know about it. Follow me and we'll be able to see how we can add more value to you. So thank you, everybody who has been with us tonight. We'll see you again, God willing, next week, Tuesday. Bye.